Hello and welcome to Manifold Mind. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories. In the vast, star-strewn expanse of the cosmos, countless civilizations rose and fell. Among them was the Ethylene Empire, a species renowned for their ethereal beauty and unparalleled intellect. But a creeping, incurable plague known as the Starfall Blight was slowly turning their vibrant civilization to dust. The Ethelians faced extinction, their once bright future dimming with each passing day. Elara, the last princess of this dying empire, was a beacon of hope in the twilight of her people. She was brilliant, compassionate, and carried the weight of her entire civilization on her shoulders. Her scientists had devised a desperate, last-ditch plan, a genetic contract, a way to merge ethylene DNA with a compatible species, preserving their legacy. The contract was broadcast across the galaxy, a silent plea for salvation. It detailed the ethylene plight and the terms of the union. The partner would gain access to ethylene knowledge and technology, a dowry of galactic proportions. But there was a catch, a heartbreaking one. Due to the advanced stage of the Starfall Blight, Elara, the carrier of the genetic legacy, had only 1 year left to live. The contract was not just a marriage proposal. It was a death sentence for the bride. Civilizations far and wide received the message. The powerful Xylons, a warrior race, scoffed at the idea of wedding a dying princess. The hyperlogical Cygnets calculated the risk and deemed it a poor investment. The message traveled for light years, unanswered, a testament to the galaxy's cold indifference. Finally, the signal reached a small, blue planet on the fringes of the Milky Way, Earth. It was intercepted by Liam, a brilliant but reclusive astrophysicist. Liam had always felt more at home gazing at the stars than navigating the complexities of human society. He lived a quiet life, haunted by a past loss that had left him feeling adrift. When he decoded the ethylene message, he wasn't thinking about power or technology. He saw a plea for help, a story of a princess facing her end alone. Her loneliness resonated with his own. He saw a chance to do something meaningful, to make a connection that transcended worlds. Against the advice of his colleagues and the warnings of world governments, Liam sent a single simple reply: "I accept." The galaxy was stunned. A primitive, barely spacefaring human had answered the call. Soon after, an ethylene ship, a marvel of crystalline design, descended from the skies and landed silently in a remote desert. Liam was there, waiting. The ramp lowered, and Elara appeared. She was even more beautiful than her holographic image, with silver hair that shimmered and eyes that held the wisdom of ancient stars. But her beauty was fragile, her movement slow, a visible sign of the Blight's relentless march. She looked at Liam, a mix of gratitude and sorrow in her gaze. "You came," she whispered, her voice like soft chimes. "I did," Liam replied, his voice steady despite his racing heart. No one should have to face the end alone. In a simple ceremony, witnessed by a few human officials and ethylene robotic attendants, they signed the genetic contract. Liam placed a simple silver band on Elara's finger, a human tradition she had read about. For the first time in a long time, Elara smiled, a genuine, radiant smile that briefly outshone the sadness in her eyes. Their life together began. Liam introduced Elara to the simple wonders of Earth. He took her to see an ocean sunrise, the colors painting the sky in a way she'd never seen. He made her hot chocolate, a sweet, warm comfort that was completely alien to her. She, in turn, opened his mind to the universe. She showed him star charts of galaxies he'd only dreamed of, explained the physics behind nebulae, and told him stories of her people, of their art, their music, their history. They spent their evenings in Liam's observatory, not as scientist and alien princess, but as husband and wife. They would talk for hours, sharing their deepest fears and fondest dreams. Ilara confessed her fear of being forgotten, of her entire civilization vanishing without a trace. Liam shared the story of his late wife, the profound grief that had isolated him from the world. In sharing their vulnerabilities, they found a profound connection. Liam wasn't just fulfilling a contract. He was falling in love with the brilliant, brave woman who was teaching him how to live again. Ilara, who had accepted her fate, found herself cherishing every moment, her love for Liam a fierce, burning light against the encroaching darkness of her illness. But as the months passed, Ilara's condition worsened. Her strength faded, and she was often confined to the medical bay of her ship. Liam stayed by her side, holding her hand, reading to her, and promising her that she would not be forgotten. Her legacy, he vowed, would live on. The ethylene technology transfer was proceeding as planned. Humanity was on the cusp of a new golden age, with advancements in medicine, energy, and space travel that would change the world forever. But for Liam, it all felt hollow without Ilara. All he wanted was more time. One night, as Ilara lay weak in his arms, she gave him a small, glowing data crystal. "This is for you, my love," she whispered. "It's all of me. My memories, my thoughts, my love for you. So you'll never be alone." Liam clutched it, tears streaming down his face. Their year together was drawing to a close, the final chapter of their star-crossed love story. The end seemed inevitable, but then something unexpected happened. A soft, golden light began to emanate from the silver ring on Ilara's finger. The ring wasn't just a symbolic gesture from Liam. It was made of an alloy from a meteorite he'd been studying, an alloy that, unbeknownst to him, had unique regenerative properties. The ring, charged over the year with Ilara's ethylene energy and Liam's own biosignature through their constant contact, began to react. The golden light intensified, enveloping Ilara. The ethylene medical monitors, long silent in their grim prognosis, began to chime with activity. Vital signs were stabilizing. Cell regeneration was beginning. The Starfall blight, the incurable plague that had decimated an entire empire, was receding. The genetic contract, they realized, was more than a legal or biological document. It was a fusion of two souls. Liam's love and the unique properties of the ring had created a catalyst, an unforeseen variable that the ethylene scientists could never have predicted. It wasn't just about preserving DNA. It was about the power of a connection, of a love so strong it could defy even death. Ilara's recovery was slow, but it was real. Color returned to her cheeks and strength to her limbs. The light in her eyes, once dimmed by sorrow, now shone with a future they never thought they'd have. The galaxy, which had watched with a mixture of pity and morbid curiosity, was once again stunned. The dying princess was alive. The human who had signed a death warrant had instead become a savior. Their story became a legend, a testament to the idea that compassion and love were forces more powerful than any technology or galactic law. Liam and Ilara, the astrophysicist and the star princess, had their whole lives ahead of them. They would not only guide humanity into a new era, but also rebuild the ethylene civilization, not just from preserved DNA, but from a living, breathing queen. Lorraine stood quietly by the window one evening, hands resting over her abdomen. "The healers confirmed it," she said softly. Rowan froze mid-sip of coffee. "Confirmed what?" "There is life within me." His mug clattered onto the counter. "You're serious?" "Yes." He approached slowly, almost reverently. "I thought the bond just healed you." "It did." She placed his hand gently against her stomach, but it also awakened. Tears gathered in her golden eyes. "I was preparing to die," she whispered. "Now I carry a future." He pulled her into his arms. "You're not facing this alone. I never aim." Her pregnancy became a symbol across galaxies. A hybrid, ethery human child conceived not from alliance, but from mercy-turned love. Labor was radiant, literally. Starlight pulsed through the chamber as Leray gripped Rowan's hand with fierce strength. "You are allowed to complain," he told her gently. "I am luminary," she gasped. "You're also in labor." She laughed breathlessly. When their daughter was born, the room filled with soft golden light. Tiny crystalline markings shimmered across her delicate skin. Human heartbeat. Ethery aura. Perfect. Lyrae wept openly as she held her. "I was supposed to fade," she whispered. "Instead," Rowan said softly, "you shine." They named her Ilara. 1 year later, Ilara toddled across the apartment floor, trailing harmless sparkles of starlight behind her. Rowan chased her with exaggerated panic as she phased partially through a chair. "Not through solid matter, kiddo." Lyrae laughed from the kitchen. Now fully restored, stronger than ever, she led the luminary houses with calm authority. Peace flourished between species. Medical research advanced, inspired by her miraculous recovery. But at home, she was simply mother and wife. One evening, as Ilara slept in her softly glowing cradle, Rowan stood beside Lyrae on their balcony. "You signed a dying wish," she said quietly. "Yeah, and instead you built a life." He wrapped an arm around her waist. "You deserved more than an ending." She leaned into him, golden eyes reflecting city lights and distant stars. Inside, their daughter stirred gently. A girl who had expected to die, a human who signed without hesitation. A contract that rewrote fate, and a family born from the most unexpected miracle of all. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.